I bought a skid of miscellaneous electronics from a government auction. Let's see what we got. It's technically a government auction, I guess. No, I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't gone through this yet. Obviously, I had to load it, I had to move it, I had to put it in something, I had to bring it here. I've gone through it, I know what's here, but I also don't know if any of it works. People don't seem to understand as is means as is at auctions. People seem to disregard that part, and it usually means stuff doesn't work. So let's see what we got. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I bought this skid is it was the cheapest one that actually was selling at that auction, and I wanted it for this case, so that'll tell you probably how much I spent on this. Very little, because I bought it specifically just for that black plastic case to throw some other stuff in. I have a drone in that one, and I figured I could throw something similar in this one right here. Now, there's a lot of private information on this stuff that I'm trying to make sure I don't show, because while it's probably a business address, it does have people's names on them, and it also might not be a business address. So I'm just trying to cover absolutely everything that I can, if you're wondering why there's random blue tapes on random things. But if we were to pop this nice little case open, as you can see on the inside, we have some foam of what used to be in here, instructions paper for a Comstar programming instructions. That's probably what was in here. But I popped this open and realized this is a Nanook, however you say that, 940. That is a rather damn expensive case. This case is like $180. So, I didn't pay anywhere near that for this skid, so that's an absolute win. Now, onto the actual thing. As you can see, we got this massive Cobra Crane bag. I'm pretty sure one of these tripods probably is a Cobra Crane tripod. I think it's this one here. Yep, Cobra Crane. Not sure how much this stuff's worth, but I imagine it's not cheap. This kind of camera equipment usually isn't very cheap. We also have this other massive tripod. This one actually has wheels. And is there a brand on this bag? I'm not seeing a brand on this bag, but another probably tripod bag or something. Another absolutely massive bag. Let's just see how high this thing goes. Okay, yeah, we're not going to be able to do this indoors. Yeah, that is a pretty damn tall tripod. Right here we have what appears to be an entire box of Sennheiser power supplies. They at least like a usable voltage. Output 12 volts, half an amp. Okay, that's somewhat usable, I guess. At least it's 12 volts. Wish it was a little bit more than half an amp, but hey, I guess I got a whole bunch of very low amperage 12 volt power supplies. Awesome. This looks like a nightmare. The hell is this stuff? Is this security camera stuff? It looks like it. That it is. Okay, so it looks like we have 4 cameras and, come on, a Swain DVR 8-channel DVR. Okay. That's cool. We'll have to see if this actually functions, but if it does, I guess I'll add some more security cameras to my arcade, I guess. Honestly, this stuff really doesn't even look like it was ever installed, so I'm hoping it works. Guess we'll find out. Obviously, sticking out of this box, we do have 2 iPads. I already looked at these because I had to put some private information cover stickers on, but these are 32 gigabyte, the 3rd gen iPads that both have bad batteries, very bad batteries. That one's hitting the LCD. That one's also hitting the LCD. They are swelled up quite badly. These are honestly probably e-waste. They are like $30 in working condition, and the battery's like $15, then plus my time and effort. Yeah, these are probably e-waste, but hey, maybe I'll make a video replacing the batteries on these. Got a D-Link box. Do we have a router in here? No, we do not have a router in here. We have a 2-channel wireless receiver. Microphone stuff. Okay, that's cool. That just popped off. That probably shouldn't happen. Okay, this stuff might work. I don't know. Looks very ancient. Cool. Under that we have a dented, the fuck is this? It's a drawer, obviously, but it's like a rack mount drawer, but for a really thin rack. What the hell uses a rack that thin? I'm not sure. It's a nice drawer, though. It slides really nice. Gator rack works. And this box is just a bunch of Lenovo laptop power cords. Awesome. And an Ethernet cable. Pretty much scrapped. They're 20 volts. I'm not sure what the hell I'm ever going to use those for, but hey, more power supplies to add to the Sennheiser power supplies, I guess. I'll be interested to see if this works. My one of these is starting to have some play issues, so instead of cleaning it, maybe I'll just replace it with this one that probably has way more hours on it and probably works worse. But hey, maybe it works better. This one even does DVDs. Fancy. We might actually use that, so I guess that's not a total piece of e-waste. Elmo's looking a little bit different these days. This is some kind of, like, I don't know, presenting type thing. You'd have your book here, then able to present it out onto a projector. Not 100% sure how that works, but it's worth, like, nothing because there is much better versions of these days. Also got this nice camera bag. Unfortunately, it's empty, but it's a damn nice camera bag. Okay, well, obviously, an outdoor TV cover still in the wraps. Sweet. Yes, now I need to install an outdoor TV. We got a Mega Mount professional multimedia rig for an iPad Pro 9.7 inch. That's not the oldest iPad, I guess, but I also don't have one. Maybe I'll be able to sell that for something. I don't know. No idea what that's worth. An MSI notebook bag. That's trash, pretty much. That is literal e-waste. It might be new, but yeah, that's probably e-waste. And it looks like we got another tripod. Awesome. We need more of those around here. A piece of plastic. That's probably trash. No idea what that came off of. We have a rack cover. Again, I feel like they were just throwing trash in here. Is there actually a gigabit network switch in there? Because if so, that also paid for this lot because I needed one of these. Shit, yeah, that's a brand new gigabit. Don't know how to speak, apparently. Network switch. Sweet, that paid for the lot there because I needed one of those, and I was going to probably spend more than $20 on one of those. Is that another one? Or is this a 10100? Come on, focus. Yeah, gigabit. Sweet, okay. Yeah, those paid for the lot, assuming they work. I'm assuming the new one at least does. A Kenwood walkie-talkie or whatever. Cool. I don't know if that's worth anything, but probably. Still see those used fairly often. This is a huge mess. That says DJI on it. DJI. Okay, this is a Z-axis for an Osmo. Okay. That might be worth a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have an Osmo. Now, this right here, even though it's basically two bicycle brake lines, is probably ridiculously expensive. Like, probably ridiculous. This seems like some kind of professional camera equipment thing to rotate the camera. This is really hard to do one-handed, but yeah, that's probably stupid expensive as well. Digging deeper in here, we have tons of like 1/4 inch to XLR and just XLR cables. We have tons of just random USB cables. That walkie-talkie is still floating around in there. Some different camera mounts, assuming more camera mounts. That looks like it might mount to that DJI thing. Tons of just cables, and probably somewhat useless, though. I actually do need some XLR cables, so probably not terribly useless. We have some brand new ones. I have no idea what those are. I've seen like 3 of these. I think that's a mount for something. Is that the, not quite the same tripod. Not sure which tripod that goes to. Again, just tons more wires. A weird microphone puck. Not sure where that goes. An Amazon Echo. Okay, actually, I will use that. Well, no, I don't. I don't like Amazon. Probably won't use that. But, yeah, this looks... Oh, there's something else down here. Ugh. That looks like it might have been expensive at one time. Maybe it is still. I don't know. Some kind of conference calling thing. I don't want to show too much about that. That's an AT&T bullshit thing, but that's basically e-waste at this point. And this, here we have, is that a, that's a CD magazine for something. That seems probably trash. Some more XLR cables. We have some microphones in this. What do we got in this box? A USB to MIDI. The fuck is MIDI? Hey, 2 Raspberry Pis. I can't flip them over because there's some identifying information on them, but they're Raspberry Pi 3Bs. Pretty cool. Those also technically, I guess, paid for the lot as well. There's some microphones in here. That one does not have a brand. This looks like the same, but this one has a brand. This one's Shure. Is that one just a knockoff Shure? I don't know. Odd. That one has a cable attached. Looks like there's something in that bag. That's a hefty little microphone. Another Shure microphone. What the fuck? I thought reverb was done after the fact. I didn't know people had reverb microphones. That is some brand new speakers. That's pretty cool. And that looks like a useless remote because I don't have whatever it goes to. Some more speakers. Microphone that says not good. Sennheiser. Ooh, what's in the Sennheiser box? What the fuck? I guess for wireless Sennheiser microphones, those probably go with those giant pile of Sennheiser adapters, power cords. Too bad I don't have whatever those plug into. Another Sennheiser. What do we got in this bad boy? Feels like more... The fuck? Oh, I know what those are. Those that go from the larger microphone adapter. Yeah, okay, I know what those are. They're mounts. those are actually somewhat useful. Again, more XLR cables, pretty much more junk. Okay, well, it's dented on the top and on the bottom, but that is one heavy freaking microphone. That is a chunk of metal. Pretty cool. Wonder if it works. I also bought 20 HP desktops. I've tried my best to hide any information I probably shouldn't show. As you can see, Army Depot. These did come from the US military. And there are the specs. An i7-7700, pretty basic HP ProDesk 600. The slowest DDR4 you can possibly get. Very small SSD. The issue is these won't support Windows 11, which is why they're getting rid of them. The other issue is they're potentially BIOS locked, which is why I got them for $20 a piece. Now I figured worst case scenario, I could part them out and probably get my money back just from the i7, and I'd basically probably break even, maybe make a little bit of money. I'm not 100% sure how much those i7s sell for, but I'm pretty sure more than $20 a piece. But I also figured that maybe I'd get one with a good BIOS, and then I'd be able to desolder the bad BIOS chips off all the others and manually reprogram them with the correct BIOS. That is what I was hoping to not have to do. But, yeah, I already plugged one of these in, and, well, I'll just show you. Opening the boxes up, we're greeted with a shitty HP keyboard and the actual computer. There's also an HP mouse in that box, and a power cord, and an HDMI. No, that's not an HDMI cord. Just a power cord and a shitty mouse. No monitor stuff. But let's get this bad boy plugged in and boot it up. Even though these computers are new in the box, as you can see, they do have an Army Depot sticker on them, which means their BIOS and software that's on them is custom, most likely, and not the factory one that you get if you just happen to buy an HP ProDesk 600. As you can see, we get a post error for a clock issue, so CMOS battery failure. That's pretty cool. I guess that means the BIOS is cleared, though again, they probably have a custom programmed BIOS or a minimum of BIOS that at least keeps the password. I'm gonna be honest, I already plugged one of these in, and I already figured out what the password is. Now, I'm not gonna confirm or deny what the BIOS password is, because I don't want this Army Depot mad at me for leaking their super secure BIOS password. It only took me... Actually, I was thinking it was 11 tries, but I think it only gives you 3 tries before you have to reboot, so I think it took me 7 tries to get it, and that was with me trying like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, stuff like that. The password's simple enough you'd yell at your mother for using it, I'll put it that way. Now, to be fair, ultimately, if you can get to the computer enough to access the BIOS, there's much more worse things that you can do than enter the BIOS. Ultimately, a BIOS password isn't really that much for security, and it's more for keeping people that don't know what they're doing from fucking up the BIOS. Trust me, people find ways to fuck up the BIOS. If I had $1 for every time a company's returned a computer for not having video when somebody messed up the BIOS to make it not display video, I'd have a few dollars. Now, as you can see, these do definitely have a custom version of Windows on them, so I will have to reflash these with normal Windows 10. Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna be able to use with that. We're gonna have to set that to normal Windows. Now, to be safe, we're gonna pop open another one of these just to make sure they have the same BIOS password, because I don't want to, think all of these have this simple password and then find out this is the only one with that simple password, and the rest I'm not able to unlock. So, let's, I guess, find out what these ones are, see if they're the same. Well, this one also has a dead CMOS battery. Again, it does have a BIOS password. Let's see if we can unlock it. And yep, we're in. So, besides for having to reflash all these with Windows 10, or whatever I want to put on them, I guess we have 20 functioning computers. I guess I just need to buy 2032 cells, and we should be good to go. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these, but, I didn't expect to get all 20 functional. I expected to have some BIOS locked ones that I wouldn't be able to unlock, or at a minimum I'd have to desolder the BIOS chip and manually reprogram it. I didn't expect to guess the BIOS password on my 7th attempt. Now, I guess we should see if this 4-channel, well, 8-channel, but 4 cameras, that's a weird thing. I guess you have to buy the extra cameras. Or maybe they weren't included. I don't know. Let's see if this thing functions, because I'll install it if it does. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more security cameras. There we go, I can set it to 4 camera mode. This thing has a terabyte worth of storage inside, so honestly, I'm gonna set this thing up. It all has eSATA, so I guess you can attach more storage, and LAN, so I guess you can, well, remotely access it. Awesome, okay, shit. I did not think this was gonna work so. These cameras are also pretty decent quality. They keep clicking between night vision mode and not, because I have them so close to the fabric, but yeah, these things are decent quality and shit. I'm definitely gonna install these somewhere. well, around the arcade. But yeah, okay, sweet. I guess the easiest way to test these mics is going to be to use this little PA system. We can just plug a mic directly into that, so hopefully this will work. First up, we're going to try this Shure microphone. I'm assuming since it's not like an XLR or anything, it doesn't require any sort of phantom power, but honestly, I know basically nothing, so I guess we're going to find out. I guess we should probably turn that on, lower that volume way the frick down, and turn this microphone on, and it is kind of working, but I have to be really close to it because I guess I have that volume set too low. Let me turn that up. Okay, so yeah, this microphone works very well. Okay, I will take it. Okay, I guess we'll try the next microphone. This Sharp was marked not good. I see why. Somebody twisted the head too many times and broke the wires. Ultimately repairable, but it's not going to work right now. Next up is this Reverb microphone. It feels kind of cheap. I'm not expecting much. It takes a 9-volt battery, so I put one of those in there. Let's see if it works. It's got the reverb level, so we can use it as just like basically a normal microphone, and then we can just slowly turn it up and get slightly more and more, whatever this is. That sure is something, all right. I'm not sure what in the world you'd use this microphone for. Now for the, it appears to be like a knockoff of that Shure. The insulation on this wire is broken. It's of course not a normal XLR, so I can't just use a normal XLR cable. Let's see if this will work. We might have some issues with that. It might not work, but let's give it a try. This one is XLR, but then I put a 1/4-inch adapter on it, so let's see if this works, or if I need phantom power, or if this cable's broken. This one I'm not getting anything out of. I imagine it's probably because of that, though. Unfortunately, I cannot test this one here, as I don't have whatever that weird 2-pin connector is, so I guess this one might work. This microphone was really difficult to find a cord for. All the XLR to quarter adapters that I have are the wrong gender, so we had to do some interesting things. So this microphone does work, but this adapter is very sketchy and I have to hold it at a weird angle or it doesn't work. So the mic works at least. The cable or my 1/4-inch adapter doesn't, however. And the final things we need to test for the microphone stuff is these transmitter setup. We got a lapel and I forget what those are called, mic. So let's give this stuff a try. So weirdly, both of the transmitters work on channel 1, but channel 2, neither of them work. It lights up green, so they're connected, but it's not working. What I'm assuming is this PA system either only uses the left or the right channel, and F2 or channel 2 is on whichever channel this thing doesn't actually use. That's my best guess. But both lapels work, so let's try that microphone now. So this one does work, but I see why they got rid of these transmitters. Holy. God forbid you switch a channel with this thing on, or you will blast your goddamn eardrums out. Holy shit, does this thing peak unbelievably high just trying to mess with it. I understand why these were replaced. I actually already gone ahead and installed the security system. More cameras again. What could go wrong? Really, I don't think anything. More cameras is more security, so why not? Still not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of this. Some of it I'll probably, donate. If it's just trash, I'll just throw it out. I don't know. A lot of these cables I could actually use, a lot of these XLR cables, so I'll have to go through those, wind them all up, and get them all sorted out and figure out what's actually there XLR cable-wise, audio cable-wise. I know there's some 1/4-inch cables, all those useful cables that are, well, actually sometimes useful. Elmo, I highly doubt I'll ever need an Elmo. There's a speaker setup for, well, it's half a speaker setup. It's the left and right, but it's missing the center thing that actually controls them, so that's pretty useless. Probably just scrap those for parts. That battery, it's new. I don't have the HP notebook that it goes to, and it also is probably dead, so that's also probably just trash. The network switches I'm definitely going to use. I didn't see any bad exploits or anything that was possible with those model numbers, so I looked them up. The tripods, might use them. Honestly, I don't know. It might just be worth selling. This tripod here is a standard Baby Junior, I don't know what the hell the rest of that says, but I looked it up. This is like a $400 thing to buy new. And that's without this. This is like another 60, 50 bucks for this adapter right here. Honestly, I could probably resell it for much more than I paid for that skid, so I'll probably look into doing that. These 20 HP desktops, I think I have a use for at least 2 of them. Not sure what I'll do with the rest. I could upgrade my NAS. My NAS is an i5 7600, so it would be a little bit of an upgrade, but not enough to be worth it, so I'm not going to bother. I guess I could make more NASs and just have a whole bunch of mirrored backups, but that seems like way too much to spend on hard drives. One of them will probably replace this right here. This is my Dell Optiplex 3040 that I have set up for the HTC Vive. It's, I believe, an i5 7600, so again, the i7 will be a little bit of an upgrade. I'll just swap the 1650 over that I have for the graphics card. Obviously, it doesn't do very good VR games, but it'll play your Beat Saber just fine, and that's basically all I use this for. Any better stuff, I'm gonna be honest, I use a Quest 2 for because, honestly, I don't play much VR. The main reason I actually still even have an HTC Vive down here is because it's just, you know, simple. Anyone that visits can simply just start the game. This thing has its own Steam account, so it's all separate. I could use a Quest, but the Quest, I mean, then it's my Facebook account, all that stupid stuff. I don't know, it's just easy to use one of these. Plus, if somebody accidentally yeets this into a wall, I don't care as much because these are pennies on the dollar. I have 3 in a closet somewhere, so if they break it, it doesn't matter that much. The controllers are worth well more than the headset at this point. I'll also probably replace this one right here. It's my workshop computer. This one does have graphics cards in it, running in Crossfire. You know, that's probably tell you how old this thing is. It's an AMD FX 6300, so not a good CPU. Those i7s will be much better than that. And it also has a couple issues. One, it keeps rebooting and then not being able to find the boot disk. I'm thinking there's something wrong with the disk drive. Well, no, not the disk drive, the SSD. But all the SSD checks say it's fine. But, you know, I don't think it's fine because somehow it keeps crashing and then, well, not being able to find its own boot disk. So that's an issue. And it also has an issue with the motherboard where it thinks the headphones are constantly being plugged in and unplugged. That's happened ever since I've owned this computer. There's something wrong with the motherboard. And I don't care enough to buy a new motherboard for it, so we'll probably just replace that with one of those. Also put one of those sets of speakers to work in here while I was cleaning this place up, as I got a new shelf and was putting a bunch of stuff on it and cleaning this whole area out so I can actually work in here again. This rack mount drawer, I'm probably never going to have a rack that this fits. I don't know of anyone that does have a rack that would fit. I'm probably going to mount that under a desk and just use it as a drawer because it's a damn nice drawer. These 2 Raspberry Pis, they're 3Bs. They're my pretty much preferred choice because they're the cheapest ones that run a pretty good retro arcade, good old RetroPie. Anything below that doesn't quite give you good 90s games emulation. These ones seem to do it pretty well, so these will probably find themselves in arcade machines at some point. This right here surprised me. This Kenwood radio is like $300 used, so that will probably be getting sold because I have 0 use for one walkie-talkie. But I do have a use for $300. Bit of an afterthought, so this is filmed after everything else. But I actually think I have a use for a third one. I might use one for this Cesar book scanner. I'm thinking I might get a table to put across here. Ignore my vent fan. I had to reroute that. But I might put a table in right here. And if I do that, that's an airsoft gun. Don't mind it. But I might just set up a scanning area. I'll probably put the Kick scanner in here as well, just because the Kick one's better at scanning actual items as well. The Cesar one will only scan pages. It horrendously scans anything other than a page. You can't scan an item, it will not turn out correctly. It's not meant for that, neither is the Kick one, but the Kick one does a lot better job at that, while this one does a lot better job at scanning books. Weird, but, I mean, that's like a $300 one. The Kick one was $6,000, but I think they recently upped the price, because now it's like $11,000. But this one has its own computer, so I don't have to worry about adding any computers to this one here. But if you like what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe. I gotta find something to do with all this junk, so see you next week.